Hi, everyone. I am Jessica from Afro-Vegan Society, and I am so excited to be with you all today for the 15th day of Veguary. So we are more than halfway through the month of February, and we're going to get right into an amazing cooking demo with Charlene Forde today. So Charlene is going to be making Trini Curried lion's mane stuffed dumplings with Callaloo, and she is waiting behind the scenes, ready. And so with that said, before we kick it off, I want to tell you a little bit about today's giveaway. We have a giveaway for today's live, and it is from Hella Nuts. So Hella Nuts is a brand that makes vegan products. They also have a vegan restaurant. And I want to tell you a little bit more about Hella Nuts today. So I'm going to share my screen. So Hella Nuts is a ground walnut meat. It is a plant-based alternative to meat that you can use in tacos, burgers, dips, and more. And a lucky winner today will be winning a prize pack of Hella Nuts walnut meat. So with that said, for today, to enter the giveaway, what you need to do is let's make the giveaway on theme with what our cooking demo is about. So we are infusing some global flavors in today's cooking demo to show you how delicious it can be to explore new flavors with plant-based foods. So in the comments, type in your favorite plant-based global cuisine. For me, I love Indian food and Thai food. I love Caribbean food. I love all the food. So there are so many options. So in the comments, type in your favorite global plant-based food, and then use hashtag Veguary, and we will randomly select a winner from our comments tonight. So a little bit more about our presenter today, Charlene Forde. Here we go. So Charlene Forde is the owner of Melanated Vegan, and she's a vegan chef who creates mouth-watering vegan food with a hint of Caribbean flavor. Charlene's culinary experience spans over 20 years, and she's been cooking since the age of 12. With her passion for food, she loves to take traditional recipes passed down from her grandmother and veganize them. And she is coming out with a cooking demo. It starts shipping on March 22nd. So if you enjoyed today's demo and you get to make this recipe and you really love it, she'll have so many more recipes available for you to try. And you want to visit melanatedvegan.org/cookbook. So I think I've done enough intros. Everyone is streaming in. And so let's bring Charlene into the room. Hi, Charlene. Thanks so much for being us here for the 15th day of Veguary.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. We have a great spread right here, guys. Hope you guys are ready for it.
Beautiful. So with that said, I'm going to give the screen to you and take it away. Show us how it's done.
So guys, today, as Jessica said, we are going to make curried lion's mane dumplings, stuffed dumplings with callaloo. So growing up, primarily like our callaloo is made with some sort of seafood or some sort of meat. I've learned to veganize it. So today we're going to use lion's mane. It's supposed to simulate crab meat. If you guys haven't used lion's mane mushrooms before, these are what the lion's mane mushrooms look like. So I have already gone ahead and marinated mine. So I marinated mine overnight. And in here I have one of our staple seasoning is green seasoning. So I make this green seasoning, which is in my cookbook. You can also purchase it at any Caribbean grocery store. So in this green seasoning, there is green onions, there's parsley, there's shadabeni. Shadabeni is another green similar to cilantro. So we put that in there. There's pimentos. There's a little bit of Scotch bonnet in there to make it a little bit of spice. To make it a little bit spicy. And then that's what I use to season the the lion's mane. And then the lion's mane also I added some curry powder, and I let that marinate overnight. So we're going to saute this. But before we saute this, we're going to make our dumplings. For the dumplings, I have a 2 cups of flour in here. I have half a teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar and a teaspoon of baking powder. And then I'm going to add some water to this, and we're going to blend this and knead this together. So we're going to knead this into a dough. If you need to add a little bit more water, you can. And guys, this is going to be in my cookbook. So if you guys are interested in making this yourselves, it will be in the cookbook. So you guys can pre-order, as Jessica said. The link is there in my bio. So this is going to form a dough. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down on my counter. My counter is clean. And then I'm going to knead it some more into a ball. And then you're going to form this into a ball. And this is going to form your dumplings. You can also add if you don't want to use water, you can add coconut milk to this. And the coconut milk will make it a little bit more sweeter. So it'll have that coconut milk, coconut taste to it, which is also really good. But for the sauce, I'm going to add coconut milk to the curry sauce. And then there you're going to have your ball, ball. And then we're going to set this aside for a few minutes while we work on the lion's mane. So I'm just going to wash my hands. So guys, this is a really simple dish. That I grew up eating, and I fine-tuned this one with the lion's mane. So with the lion's mane, I'm going to use my cast iron pot, and I'm going to use coconut oil for frying, for sauteing, I mean. I'm going to put it on medium-high heat. And that's about a quarter, maybe an eighth of a cup of coconut oil. So while that is going, I'm going to tell you what else we're going to put in there. So we have our marinated crab meat, lion's mane, which is similar to what we're used to eating growing up. We don't eat meat anymore, so we're using the lion's mane. So once that's heated up, and what I'm also going to do, I'm going to use some of the left lion's mane for our curry sauce too. So we're going to make a curry sauce, and then we're going to make our callaloo. So we're going to saute for about 10 minutes. And I'm going to come back to my dough now. And with my dough, I'm going to section them off into about 12 pieces. So I'm going to make 12 smaller balls of dough. And this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna stuff these. So I have 10 instead of 12. So I have 12 small balls of dough. And then my lion's mane sauteing at the back. So I got my 12 balls right here. And I'm gonna use just a little bit of paper towel, damp paper towel, and cover them while I'm working on the lion's mane. And the mushrooms don't take very long to cook at all. And to my lion's mane, to add some onions and some pimento peppers. So guys, if you guys don't know what pimento peppers, there are smaller peppers. They're not spicy at all. They're a little bit, they're on the sweet side, similar to like a bell pepper, but they're a lot smaller. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells amazing in here. And then we're gonna add to our mushrooms. Where can I buy the lion's mane? So I bought these local. I'm in Atlanta right now, so I bought mine local at a Southern Cap Mushroom, so they grow their own mushrooms. So you might have to do searching. Sometimes you can buy them at Whole Foods will sell them, but it's really hard to find if you're not buying them from like a local mushroom grower. So I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells amazing in here. So we're gonna cook that down for another 5 to 10 minutes or so. Are there alternatives to the lion's mane? You can use regular mushrooms but you would have to chop them up. So what I do with the lion's mane, it comes whole like this, sometimes a little bit larger. And when you break them apart, it kind of resembles crab meat, if you guys can see that. Good. Resembles crab. So I'm going to lower the heat on the mushrooms, almost done, and then I want them to be a little bit cool before we're stuffing the dumplings. So guys, if you haven't ever had callaloo, so background is Trinidadian. My parents are Trinidadian. My dad was born in Tobago and my mom in Trinidad. So they're twin islands. So it's the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. I grew up eating callaloo. I love callaloo, and there's a difference between Jamaican callaloo and Trinidadian callaloo. So our callaloo, we use a vegetable. It's called dasheen bush. So it's it looks like it resembles an elephant ear. I'm in Atlanta right now, so it's very hard to find dasheen bush here. I'm from Toronto, and Toronto is very multicultural when it comes to Caribbean cuisine. So I'm able to find everything there. So if you can't find the dasheen bush, which is what we use regularly when we make our callaloo, Jamaicans make callaloo too, but they use a different type of vegetable. They call it callaloo too, but we make it different than they do. So we use dasheen bush, we use okra, and we blend ours. So they don't blend theirs. And you can also substitute the dasheen bush for spinach. So if you can't find the dasheen bush, which I couldn't find, I'm going to substitute mine with spinach today. And callaloo is like one of my favorite dishes growing up. So I'm just going to turn the mushrooms off so that they can cool down a little bit. And then we're going to tackle the callaloo. So the callaloo, in here I have the spinach. So I already have frozen, I'm using frozen spinach, and I'm using chopped frozen okra. And we're going to add all of this to our pot. So I'm going to use this pot. I'm going to add that to my pot. And we're also going to add pumpkin. So we use pumpkin a lot in our cuisine. So we can have curry pumpkin. We have this with roti. I'm going to add the pumpkin to the callaloo. I'm going to add my green seasoning. So guys, when I tell you this is a staple in West Indian households, we use this to season everything. It gives everything a very nice flavor. It has, as I said before, it has green onions, it has garlic, it has pimento peppers, it has the shadow benny, which is similar to cilantro. It has parsley. There's a little bit of lemon juice. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to add some more pimentos to it. I'm also going to add some onions. I'm going to add some vegan butter. I'm going to add about 2 cups of water. And then also going to add some coconut milk. So I'm using organic coconut milk. You can use fresh coconut milk if you want. If you want to make your own coconut milk, you can do that. And then I'm also going to add some thyme. So all that's going to go into the pot, and then we're going to boil this for about 15 minutes. If we were using the fresh dasheen bush, it would take a little bit longer, but this is going to take about 15 minutes or so. So that is, I put that on medium-high heat. And once that's, now that that's going, we are going to roll out our dough for our dumplings. Just gonna rinse out this bowl. Other plant-based dishes you suggest from local restaurants. So I'm not from Atlanta, so I'm not really sure. I haven't ventured out to find any other Trinidadian restaurants. I know there's a lot of Jamaican restaurants. I haven't found any Trinidadian restaurants yet, but you can order my book. All the recipes are in there. I have a lot more recipes. You don't have to order. You can make your own. But yeah, I've been here for maybe 3 months or so. I really haven't found any Trinidadian restaurants. I feel like, I don't know, Atlanta to me is really, the food is a lot of Southern cooking, so a lot of fried foods, which I'm not used to. I'm used to cooking a lot more plant-based foods. So hopefully I find some soon. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the mushrooms out of this pan so that it can cool a little bit faster. So I'm gonna set that aside. And then I roll out the dough for the dumplings. So I'm gonna flour my surface. And guys, you can make these as big or small as you want. I'm gonna make mine a little bit smaller. This is the size that I rolled mine out to. And then I'm gonna get my filling. Still a little bit warm, but that's okay. And then I'm gonna fill, you don't wanna overstuff them, so maybe like a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of the filling. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of water to seal the edges. And then I'm just gonna fold it over. And then, as I said, you don't wanna overstuff them. And then this is what it looks like when it's stuffed. Now I'm going to set that aside and do my other one. And then this is going to go in our curry sauce. And I'm going to save some of the stuffing to put inside of our curry sauce. And because I used coconut oil to saute, the aroma of the coconut oil in here, guys, smells amazing. So I'm going to do one more. And then we're going to work on our sauce, our curry sauce. So for our curry sauce, I'm going to use the same pan. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to use the same pan, and I'm going to use, again, I'm going to use coconut oil. And I'm using, I like to use Trinidadian curry. So this is the brand that I use, cheap brand curry. You can find it at any Caribbean grocery store. If you can't find this brand, you can use the Jamaican brand of curry. That works well too. But I love the cheap brands, Trinidadian. And for the curry sauce, you're going to put your curry powder in a small cup or container. And I'm going to add some water and make it into a paste. Because we want to cook that curry off first. We want to cook it at least for 2 minutes. So we're going to add this curry to our pan and cook it. So it's on medium to high heat. Again, and then I'm going to cook off the curry. So this brings out all the flavors. And also growing up, they said if you didn't cook off the curry, you get run belly. So that means you would get a stomach ache if you didn't cook the curry off properly. So into the curry, we're going to add pimentos again. I'm going to add red pepper and onions and garlic. So I'm going to add some chopped garlic. Some chopped garlic, our onions. So these are chopped onions, fine chopped. My pimentos. And then I'm going to saute this for 2 minutes. I'm just going to turn that heat down. And then to our sauce, I love to add when did I go vegan? I went vegan about 5 years ago. I went vegan for health reasons, and I never looked back. I think it was the best decision I've ever made. So to my sauce, I'm going to add, I love adding this better than bouillon. It's similar to the cubes, but I find this is a lot better and it gives your food such a great flavor. If you can't find the better than bouillon, you can use vegetable stock or mushroom stock if you want. And I'm also going to add a little bit to my callaloo. Just waiting for it to boil a little bit more before I add some. There it goes. And to make our sauce, I'm going to add coconut milk. My dumplings are small, so I made my dumplings fairly small. I eat a lot, so this is probably serve 2 to 3 people. I would probably eat 4 or 5 of these. So I made mine smaller. If you're gonna make them bigger, you can serve more. The recipe is gonna be shared, so if you wanna, you'd have to double it if you wanna make it for more people. So for my sauce, I'm gonna add coconut milk. And then I'm gonna add some water. So I'm gonna lower this down. And we're gonna let that simmer for a little bit before we add in our dumplings. And then I'm gonna check on my callaloo because it smells heavenly in here, guys. I wish you guys could smell it. It smells amazing in here. my butter than again to give it a little bit more added flavor. And I'm also gonna add a Scotch bonnet pepper. So you don't want to break this or chop this Scotch bonnet apart. You're just going to place this inside of the Callaloo, and then we're gonna remove it before we blend it because this is very spicy. So this is just gonna add a little bit of a kick to it, not too much, because we're not blending it in there. So my sauce is coming along. It smells amazing. And if you guys notice, I don't add too much salt and pepper because the Better Than Bouillon already has a lot of salt content. So it has sodium in it already. So you don't want it to be overpowering. So what I do is I add my salt and pepper to taste last so that it's not too salty. And also, guys, if you don't want to use regular flour, you can use spelt flour for your dumplings. I didn't use spelt flour today. I used regular flour, but you can replace it with spelt flour for a healthier version. Scotch bonnet. Yes, they are. Scotch bonnet, yes, they are the same type of pepper. They're very spicy. So that's what I use to make. I also make pepper sauce. That's also going to be in my cookbook. So my mom loves everything super hot. She loves pepper sauce. So I didn't get I didn't get that from her. I love spicy food, but she loves everything spicy. So this is super spicy. It's I'm gonna say for me, it's 7 or 8 out of 10 on the hot scale for me. So I use it sparingly when I add it to things. So I'm gonna add a little bit of it to the curry sauce. And I might add a little bit to our callaloo. So I'm gonna add these dumplings to my sauce now because we want that to cook up in there. So you guys want to make sure that your dumplings are sealed properly because you don't want them to open up in the pan. And the dumplings don't take very long to cook at all. And then I'm also going to add some of the crab meat that I had left over. I'm going to add that to my pan. So we're gonna let this simmer for about 10 minutes or so. And while that's simmering, I'm gonna check on our callaloo because we're gonna have to blend the callaloo. So I like mine a little chunkier. You can make it as chunky or as smooth as you would like. And I like mine with a lot of okra. I love okra. A lot of people like okra because of the sliminess, but I love the sliminess of the okra. And also this dish is similar to a West African dish. I think maybe our ancestors, you know, we learned some things and it's passed down. So it's similar to a West African dish. I can't remember what it's called. Can I use jackfruit? Yes, that would be a good substitute too. If you can't find the lion's mane, you can shred that up and cook it up the same way in the curry with all the spices, and then stuff the dumplings in there. So guys, if you guys are gonna, as I said before, we usually use the dasheen bush, but because I couldn't find any, I'm using the spinach. So it won't take as long to cook. So what we're really looking for is the vegetables to be cooked down. So the pumpkin should be soft, the spinach should be soft, and the okra should be soft. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove it from the stove, turn the stove off, because all of my vegetables are soft. I'm going to remove, remember we put that Scotch bonnet in there. I'm going to remove that Scotch bonnet. And I'm also going to remove the thyme. I'm going to check on our dumplings. Dumplings are looking amazing. It smells amazing in here, guys. I'm going to lower this down a little bit. And then if you guys have, I don't have an immersion blender, but if you guys have an immersion blender, it would best to use that. I'm going to use a regular blender today to blend up our callaloo. And guys, you want to be careful because this is super, super hot. So with the immersion blender, I suggest using the immersion blender instead of the blender because things can splash up if you're not careful and can actually blow up in your face. So you don't want that. You want to be very, very careful when you're working with hot items in a blender. So I'm going to take out my thyme. I took out my Scotch bonnet already. And guys, I'm just going to show you what this looks like. You guys can see. This is what it looks like right now. I don't know if you guys can see that. So everything's cooked. And then I'm going to put it in my blender. All of these dishes like remind me of back home in Trinidad. So growing up, my parents used to send my brother and I to Trinidad for the summer. So we'd spend 2 months there when school was closed for the summertime. We spend time with my aunt and my cousins, and my aunt always cooks. She cooked every day. And just growing up with my dad, my mom cooked, but my dad was really the cook, and I'm such a daddy's girl, so I was always in the kitchen with my dad cooking. So we're gonna take that. Then just the smells just remind me of, you know, growing up. And I loved all of our traditional food. And going vegan, I was afraid that I was gonna miss out on that. But I just learned how to make them on my own. So I'm gonna be very careful. So I have my mixture in here, and then I'm just gonna pulse this. So guys, I'm gonna make sure that there's a little air vent in there so that it doesn't, because it's very hot, you don't want it to splash up. So I'm gonna make sure I open it a little bit. Yes, the kitchen. Yes, it does. And then I'm gonna pulse this for a little bit. Put this up. So that's pulsed a little bit. It smells so good in here. So this is what my steaming hot, this is what my callaloo looks like. Gonna pour that back into my pan, my pot. I wish you guys were here to smell and taste this, but guess what? You guys can order the cookbook because this recipe and many others are in there. So I'm going to put this on for another 5 minutes. And guys, our dumplings are almost done. Dumplings smell amazing. And then we added that extra lion's mane to it, so it gives it that added thickness that we want. So I'm just gonna load this down because this is almost done. I'm gonna taste it to make sure we have enough seasoning. Guys, this tastes amazing. I'm not gonna add any more salt because I already added the better than bouillon, but I am gonna kick it up a notch and add a little pepper sauce. This is for my mom because she loves the pepper. So I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper sauce, not too much because it's super spicy. So guys, you have that sweetness from the coconut milk and the coconut oil that we use. Then you have the spiciness from the curry, just a melting pot of goodness in there. So I'm going to turn off the curry. I think I turned it off already. Then I'm going to taste our callaloo. Turn our callaloo down. I'm going to taste our callaloo, make sure it has enough seasoning. Guys, this is amazing. I'm going to add a little bit more salt and some pepper. And I'm going to add, of course, a little bit of pepper sauce. It didn't need too much salt. It was just a tad bit of salt. And guys, as I said before, the green seasoning, it really takes up your cooking like 10 notches because it already has all of the flavors in there, and then it adds the added flavor into whatever dish that you're making. And as I said, it's one of our staple dishes. If you don't have green seasoning in your kitchen, or any type of pepper sauce, I don't know, you're not really Caribbean. But seriously, guys, this is a staple in a Caribbean household. So I think that should be good. Now I'm going to give it another taste. Give it a stir. I'm going to give it another taste. Amazing. And now I'm going to plate. And guys, you can also add the mushrooms to your, if you want to make the callaloo as like just a side dish, you can also add the lion's mane to your callaloo if you want it. So all of that is in my cookbook. So I'm gonna wash my hands. Yep. Just gonna move this stuff out of the way. And then I'm gonna plate for you guys. You guys can serve this. I like to have it just with the dumplings and the callaloo. You can have it with some fried plantain if you want. You guys can maybe saute some peppers if you wanted. But I just like it with the two of them side by side. So I'm going to bring these over. You guys can see that. Sorry, guys. You guys can see that. I'll move this out of the way. So this is our dumplings we have here. So I'm gonna put, and guys, the volley do expand a little bit. So these are my dumplings, my curry dumplings. And then we added some of the lion's mane, the extra lion's mane mushrooms to it. So it thickens the sauce a little bit. I'm not going to be too greedy today, so I'm going to just put 2 on my plate. Maybe I'm going to put 3 on my plate. I'm hungry. This is my dinner. And then I'm going to add some of that mushroom. And then this is our callaloo that we made. I'm going to add the callaloo to the side. And then because I'm a chef, I like a clean plate. I'm going to wipe my plate off so it's nice and fancy. And voila, there you guys go. You guys can see that okay. We have our dumplings, and then we have our callaloo. I'll be over for dinner. I'll save you some. And then our callaloo. So guys, this is super easy to make. Because I prepared ahead of time, it only took us about an hour or so. But all you guys have to do is prepare. It's super easy, simple ingredients, and tasty. I'm gonna taste this because I want you guys to see my reaction. I'm gonna get a fork. Grab some of that. So this is some of the stuffing fellow, but there's the stuffed dumpling. It's hot, piping hot. Guys, this is so good. So amazing. And because I added a little bit of the pepper sauce, gives it a tiny bit of a kick, not too much, but amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And you can find the recipe in my cookbook.
Yay. Thank you so much for sharing, Charlene. That looks awesome. The people are going crazy in the comments. Dumplings look so good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And yes, Charlene's going to share a photo with us, and then we're going to get this recipe up and posted so that you all can make this at home, because I'm excited to make it at home. So yeah, this looks so good. Thank you so much for sharing this recipe with us today.
Thanks for having me, Jessica. Appreciate it.
Yes, if you all want to connect with Charlene one more time, I'm going to put up a banner You can visit her website, melanatedvegan.org/cookbook, to pre-order her cookbook, which ships on March 22nd. Charlene, is there anywhere else that people can find you if they want to connect with you or eat some of your food, maybe if they're in your local area?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram. If you guys subscribe to my newsletter, I usually post where I'm going to be, any of the events. I'm still trying to get to know Atlanta a little bit, so just look out for me. I'll be posting all of that. So follow me on Instagram, melanated_vegan, or shoot me an email, melanatedvegan20@gmail.com.
Wonderful. Thanks so much again, Charlene, and we look forward to having you back for another cooking demo at one of our future events.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was an awesome cooking demo, and now it's time to get to another exciting part of today's demo. We are going to be announcing the winner. So people have been entering throughout the live all day today. Someone's going to win a sampling of Hella Nuts. It is a walnut-based meat alternative. Let me share the slide with you again. So this is the prize that we are giving away today. So I'm going to go through and randomly select a winner. And today's winner is Alana. So Alana, congratulations on winning the giveaway today. In order to claim your prize, you need to send us an email. In the subject, put Hella Nuts prize. And then in the body, put your just your name and your shipping address. And send it to afrovegansociety@gmail.com. And yes, we will get that out to you as we continue to move through Veguary. So we want to thank everyone who tuned into our lives today. It was so much fun. We have so many more lives coming up, okay? We have a live on Thursday. The panel is called How Black Activists Are Changing the Vegan Movement. We also have a presentation from Dr. Kadira Huff on Saturday about how to grow healthy black children with plants and parents. So we have a vegan physician coming up. We have another cooking demo next week. And we also have another happy hour with the Afro-Vegan Society team where we're going to be showing you all how we make our signature vegan wings. So you don't want to miss any of that. And so just be looking out on your inbox for new updates. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook. Sign up for notifications so you don't miss anything at all. And yes, we look so forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you later. Bye, everybody.